Most people think attracting girls is complicated, like you need the perfect looks, the perfect lines, or some secret trick that only naturally confident guys have. But here's the truth. Most people don't want to admit attracting girls is actually easy. Not because girls are simple, but because human psychology is predictable. Once you understand how attraction really works, you realize you've been overthinking it this whole time. Attraction isn't created by doing more. It's created by doing less, but doing the right things. The first thing to understand is that attraction is emotional, not logical. No one sits down and logically decides who they're attracted to. It happens automatically, based on how someone makes them feel. This is why a guy with average looks can pull effortlessly, while a perfect on-paper guy struggles. One triggers emotions, the other tries to impress. And this is where most guys mess up. They try to convince instead of attract. They try to prove their value instead of assuming it. Psychologically, this puts them in a weaker position immediately. When you're trying to win someone over, you're silently telling them you're not already enough. People don't feel attraction towards someone who's seeking approval. They feel pressure. Confidence isn't loud. Confidence is calm. A calm nervous system signals safety, leadership, and self-trust. When you're relaxed in your body, your tone slows down, your movements become grounded, and your presence feels stable. On a subconscious level, this is incredibly attractive. The human brain is wired to be drawn to people who seem comfortable in themselves because comfort signals competence. This is why just be confident advice sounds useless. Confidence isn't something you fake. It's something that shows up when you stop trying to control the outcome. Here's the psychology behind that. When you're outcome dependent, meaning you really want her to like you, your brain goes into performance mode. You monitor your words, your posture, your facial expressions. This mental load creates tension. That tension is felt instantly, even if you don't say a word. Humans are extremely sensitive to micro signals. If your energy says, "Please like me," it doesn't matter how smooth your words are. But when you genuinely don't need anything from her, when you're okay whether she's interested or not, your nervous system relaxes. That relaxation is what people call natural confidence. Attraction grows when someone feels free around you, not evaluated. Another key principle is polarity. Attraction thrives on contrast. Masculine and feminine energy is less about gender and more about roles. Masculine energy leads, grounds, and remains emotionally steady. Feminine energy responds, flows, and expresses emotion. When a man is emotionally reactive, needy, or uncertain, polarity collapses. There's nothing to respond to. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being emotionally solid. If she's excited, you don't try to match her energy desperately. You let her excitement bounce off your calm presence. If she tests you, you don't get defensive. You stay relaxed and playful. The moment you stop taking things personally, you become attractive. Which brings us to another psychological truth. Attraction grows in space, not pressure. When you overtext, over-explain, or over-pursue, you remove mystery. The brain needs uncertainty to feel desire. This is backed by neuroscience. Dopamine, the chemical of attraction and motivation, spikes when there's anticipation, not certainty. This is why people often become more interested when you pull back slightly instead of pushing forward. Not because you're playing games, but because you're allowing room for curiosity. Curiosity keeps the emotional system engaged. And here's the part most guys misunderstand. Pulling back doesn't mean ignoring or being rude. It means having a full life that doesn't revolve around her attention. When your happiness, goals, and identity exist independently, you become attractive without trying. People are drawn to people who are already fulfilled because fulfillment signals abundance. Scarcity repels. Abundance attracts. This is also why self-improvement works, but not for the reasons people think. Working out, improving your style, or building your career doesn't magically attract women. What it does is change how you see yourself. When you respect yourself, you stop chasing validation. When you stop chasing validation, attraction becomes effortless. Your self-image determines your behavior. Your behavior determines your results. Another powerful psychological factor is emotional leadership. Attractive men don't follow emotional chaos. They set the emotional tone. If the vibe is awkward, they don't panic. They ground it. If the vibe is fun, they don't cling to it. They enjoy it. This ability to regulate emotion makes people feel safe and excited at the same time. And safety is not boring. There's a huge misconception that excitement comes from unpredictability and drama. In reality, true excitement comes from confidence mixed with playfulness. Someone who's emotionally steady, but not emotionally dull. Humor plays a massive role here, not jokes. Playfulness. Playfulness signals intelligence, creativity, and emotional flexibility. Teasing lightly, not taking yourself too seriously, and being able to laugh at awkward moments creates connection instantly. Psychologically, laughter lowers defenses. It tells the brain, this person is safe and enjoyable. One more thing that makes attraction easy is authenticity. People can sense when you're performing. They can also sense when you're being real. Authenticity doesn't mean oversharing or trauma dumping. It means your words match your energy. You're not trying to be impressive. You're just being present. Presence is rare. In a world where everyone is distracted, being fully present is magnetic. Eye contact, listening without waiting to speak, and responding instead of reacting makes someone feel seen. Feeling seen is deeply attractive. And finally, here's the biggest truth most people never hear. You don't attract girls by trying to attract girls. You attract them by becoming someone who enjoys his own life, trusts himself, and doesn't need permission to exist confidently. Attraction is a side effect, not a goal. When you stop asking, how do I get her to like me? And start asking, do I enjoy this interaction? Everything changes, the power shifts, the pressure disappears, and attraction happens naturally. So yes, attracting girls is easy. Not because there's a shortcut, but because once you understand human psychology, you realize attraction isn't something you force. It's something you allow. If you want to learn more about attracting women like the video, leave me a comment on what you struggle with when it comes to attracting women, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.